Mental health stigmas. Did you know that only 16.5% of individuals with depression worldwide seek help? And stigma around mental health is one of the primary reasons? Why does society view people with mental illness, including addiction, differently? The answer is stigma. But the real question is, how can we stop it? People with mental illness can feel ashamed and outcast. Self-stigma is the interiorization of negative social stereotypes. People may believe they are dangerous, lazy, or unimproved. Today I'll be talking about all the stigmas associated with mental health and what we can do to decrease these stigmas. The effects stigmas have on mental health and ways to deal with it. Some harmful effects of stigma include reluctance to seek help or treatment, bullying, physical violence, or harassment, or the belief that you will never be successful at a particular task or that your situation cannot be improved, according to Mayo Foundation for Medical Education and Research 2022. There are many ways to cope with such stigmas, like getting treatment. Don't let the fear of being labeled mentally ill stop you from seeking help. Treatment can relieve symptoms by identifying what is wrong and reducing symptoms that interfere with work and personal life. Another one is don't isolate yourself, meaning if you're struggling with mental illness, some people tend not to tell anyone about it. Reach out to people you trust for the compassion, support, and understanding you need, according to Mayo Foundation for Medical Education and Research 2022. Why people with mental illness can get discriminated against. Stereotypes are a big part of the problem on why people get discriminated against because of their mental health. Some people assume those who struggle with mental health issues are dangerous, but in reality, they are more likely to be assaulted or hurt themselves than to harm others, according to Stigma and Discrimination 2022. Social media plays a big role in discrimination with mental health. People with mental health issues are frequently portrayed in the media as being dangerous, criminal, evil, or securely incapacitated and unable to lead regular, fulfilling lives, according to Stigma and Discrimination 2022. Things we can do to reduce stigmas. People like to jump to conclusions when it comes to stigmas. Know the facts. Educate yourself about mental health. Watch your attitude and actions. Examine your own judgmental thinking. Reinforced by upbringing and social, according to Addressing Stigma 2022. Stigma usually occurs in three forms. There are public, systematic, and self. Public means discrimination and underevaluation on parts of others. Stereotypes about people with discrimination with behavioral health issues might be considered a form of stigma in public realm. Systematic means reduced access to care and resources due to policies. When societal norms, institutions, and organizations that govern or have the impact on society take on the characteristics of public stigma, a systematic stigma exists. We can visualize the benefits of people's life with reduced mental health stigmas. Challenging the stigma associated with mental health takes understanding, education, and a closer look at our attitudes towards health, according to Stigma, Prejudice, and Discrimination Against People with Mental Illness 2022. Stigma and discrimination can contribute to worsening symptoms and reduce likelihood of getting treatment. Leads to negative effects on recovery among people diagnosed with severe mental illnesses. Reduced hope and lower self-esteem. The stigma, however, often prevents people from seeking treatment, can isolate them even more and worsen their conditions. Talking about mental health helps them improve our communities by making it more acceptable for those suffering from mental illnesses to seek help, learn to cope, and get on the road to recovery. Systematic stigma, as a contrast to public stigma, impacts huge groups of people as opposed to individuals or smaller groups. Lastly, self-esteem, internalization of negative stereotypes. Internalized stigma lowers one's self-worth and self-efficiency, which results in ongoing doubt and hopelessness, according to Reducing Stigma 2022. In conclusion, the stigma surrounding mental illnesses damages society by demeaning those who experience mental disorders, making the thought of having a mental disease distasteful or embarrassing, and encouraging the notion that those who are mentally ill are inherently dangerous or criminal. Social stigma and discrimination experienced by those who have mental health concerns are exhibit their symptoms and make recovery more difficult. Due to their fear of being stigmatized, people could decide against receiving the necessary assistance.